Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bored and Annoyed. I'm Jackson.
And I am home at the movies.
And this week we watched a couple movies, Mandy and The Predator.
Mandy and the Predator.
Yep.
Sounds like a I don't know, like a Carpenter's song, if you know what I'm saying.
There you go. Maybe it's the sequel to both. You can do a shared universe.
Oh boy. Bored and Annoyed. But speaking of The Predator, we're going to get right into the box office news. So that made $25 million, which is actually lower than projections. That's the low end. They were saying 32 to 25. And that's actually less than the adjusted inflation of Predators, which was 29 million. But this cost 80 million and that cost 32. So this is actually doing much worse.
Good.
That's the end of the episode. You guys know how we feel about it.
Yeah, it was. I'm not surprised. I went online. It didn't look like people liked it very much.
No, it's got a low audience score and a really low critic score.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, I don't know. There's some people that hate Predators, though, and I don't really get the hatred of Predators.
I mean, at the least, it's an okay, fine, passable movie.
Yeah, I thought so.
So, but yeah, that's I think that won the weekend.
Doesn't surprise me either. What else did we have?
I don't know.
Crazy Rich Asians in second, probably, or something?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Right.
That is still going strong. But this one will get you. Superman.
Yes.
What's going on with our boy Soups?
I mean, it sounds like somebody leaked that he wasn't playing Superman, Henry Cavill.
Right. That was a Hollywood Reporter reported that.
Right. And to be honest, there's people that are more attached to Henry Cavill than I am. Mm-hmm. I'm not like stuck on Henry Cavill.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I don't think it's his fault, but I don't like see him as like the greatest Superman. Like to me, like Superman is fine if there's no Henry Cavill. In 20 years, it's still going to be Christopher Reeves that played Superman.
It's people who are panicking because it's another sign of the end of the DC universe.
No, that's fine. It should end.
Yeah.
It should end.
I would be fine if they restarted.
Now, here's the problem with Henry Cavill and whoever wrote these movies, Zack Snyder. Mm-hmm. He didn't play Clark Kent at all.
No.
So it's broken.
Right.
You ruined the character. I mean, do I hope he comes back if they're going to continue these movies? Sure, because I think he does a fine job, whatever.
Honestly, I think he could do a great job. If he's given the right material. We got the closest we've ever gotten to real Superman in Justice League. Now, the movie around him sucks.
It's true. We got like Superman, but we didn't get the whole character. I haven't seen him in anything where I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. He could play Clark Kent. That's my problem.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Nothing I have seen him in tells me that. Like, can he be Goofy? I mean, the closest I guess he got was that Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie. He had a few barbs with Army Hammer, but
but that wasn't Goofy.
No.
That was charming,
right?
Which is just more evidence that he can play Superman.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, they need to bring in another actor.
Yeah.
And when he's Clark Kent, we're just gonna have to suspend, our disbelief.
Alien technology,
right?
Cloaking technology. He looks different.
Although, wait a minute, Clark Kent's dead.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't matter.
Never mind.
Doesn't matter. See, this is why they just need to start over. They're probably losing Ben Affleck, and they're probably losing Superman.
Yeah, we talked about it before. They should just like somehow kill off everyone but Wonder Woman from the DC universe. They can just continue, or they can just start over and say, hey, we're going to have your origin story from Wonder Woman. We'll just pretend the parts were like the picture got sent from Batman or something.
Right.
Didn't happen.
She can do a couple lines of like, well, you guys look a little different.
Yeah, right.
And just boom, that's the end.
That's the end. Correct. But there are fans that would be pissed about
There are.
that because they think those movies are like great.
Well, it's just such a misguided universe. I feel like they got almost everything wrong.
Yes, they did. They rushed it.
Yeah.
They rushed it.
But yeah, he did an Instagram video where he kind of like just slowly holds up the Superman doll and then he slowly pulls it down. I'm like, would you fucking just give an answer, Henry?
I saw that. I don't know what that was. That was pretty stupid.
And then his agent is like, no, he's still doing it. And then now the rumor is that this was a contrived fight to get more money, which I'm like,
if I'm Warner Brothers, I'm like, no, fuck you. We'll start Superman over.
Well, here's the thing. If you're Warner Brothers, you wouldn't be in this situation.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, that's the problem. You know what? Fuck it. We don't need to keep talking about this. This is fucking...
Anyways, Henry Cavill may or may not play Superman.
Yeah.
End of news. Is that news?
It's not. I don't know. It's probably the most interesting thing that happened all week. This is a really slow week for news. Speaking of DC Universe, even though this is not actually attached to the DC Universe, the Joker origin film starring Joaquin Phoenix, we got our first look at Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur, I believe.
I'm pretty excited for this.
Yeah.
I am. I mean, something different.
He looks like he lost a decent amount of weight, which is like always been my thing, is like Joker is like the slim, lithe, kind of creepy looking dude. He's not jacked like Jared Leto was for the Joker.
Was Jared Leto jacked?
He was more ripped than I would ever expect the Joker to be.
I don't care if they want to do new weird things with the Joker. I mean, I don't read comics like you do, but when I saw Heath Ledger's Joker, like the stills from that, I was like, what the fuck is that? So you can do whatever you want as long as it's good. I just like it's a good actor.
Yes.
It looks like they're doing something different.
Yeah.
So.
And it's set in the 80s like everything else.
God, that's getting a little...
It is getting a little much.
Yeah.
I love 80s, and I love 80s music and all of it.
No, they're going to ruin it for you, though.
Exactly. Too much of a good thing.
Right.
But, I mean, he looks good. He looks like... Okay, so going back to my Jared Leto statement, the thing about Jared Leto being ripped is that I think... You can make changes to these characters if you're going to do something interesting or new with them. But if you're just changing it because, oh, look, now the Joker is like a sex symbol. And he's, with his relationship with Harley Quinn is like, for all the millennials to get into and understand dysfunctional relationships or whatever. The thing is like when he's skinny, he's not a threat physically. That's the whole point.
Yes, that makes sense.
That's why he uses weapons. That's why he's a fucking maniac.
Trickster.
Yeah, he's a maniac. I mean, even Heath Ledger's Joker used crowbars and dogs one time he fought.
He was, the only other time, the only physical thing I remember him doing was slamming the dude's head into the pen.
Yes.
That was pretty sweet.
Yep.
But no, he didn't do that because he was strong. He caught the guy off guard.
Exactly. Which is like the whole thing, which the Joker can only do once, because once people know who the Joker is, you're not going to be able to trick them and subdue them into making you, it's just a creepy guy.
That performance was so good.
It's amazing. I'm really hoping that, I think Joaquin Phoenix can do something special.
Yeah, why not? Hell yeah. Almost everything he does, he's awesome in. There's a new movie coming out with him and the Step Brothers guy where they're like bank robbers who are brothers.
Yes.
I bet you that'll be good.
That looks really good. John C. Reilly?
Yeah, I forget the name of the movie, but I saw a trailer. I thought it was pretty good.
I can't remember what it's called. It's the Sisters Brothers.
Yeah, there you go. Or the Brothers Sisters.
The Brothers Sisters.
Something.
One of those two. Yeah, I was like, well, that's a good title, because guess what? We saw it. Might have forgotten the title if it had been something less silly.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks really good. And it's a Western.
Yeah, there
you go.
Don't see
enough of those.
A Western comedy.
Yeah.
First time I can remember that since Shanghai Noon.
Oh.
I love Shanghai Noon. Big fan.
Which one's Shanghai Night is the sequel?
Shanghai Night is like in London or something. It's not nearly as good.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah. The first one was like Lucy Liu was in it as like the princess. And it was pretty good. I mean, Jackie Chan, he can't act, but Owen Wilson was funny. I thought they had a good chemistry.
Uno mas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I actually like Jackie Chan. I really like him. He's not a great actor, but
he's likable.
He's got that personality that you're like, fuck it. I don't care.
Right.
It's like early Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But yeah, I'm a fan of Shanghai Noon. Yeah. I think it's time for a reboot.
Oh, come on. Let's not do any more reboots. You know what's not going to be a reboot? We got a new movie coming out from our buddies, Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson.
Nice.
It's called Synchronic.
Do you know anything about this movie besides the casting news?
I don't.
Okay.
But all I need to know is that it's Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson.
Yeah, I don't even, I'm not a huge Anthony Mackie guy.
Oh, Anthony Mackie is the fucking shit.
Of course you love Anthony Mackie.
No, here's the okay.
Because of his Marvel chops.
No, it's not that. I love watching the dude in interviews. And any behind the scenes shit, he is easily the life of the set.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I see. I don't realize that.
You got to watch. I think you own Winter Soldier on Blu-ray.
Yeah, sure.
There's a special feature on there just called Cut the Check. That's all about Anthony Mackie behind the scenes.
Okay.
He's got this thing where he'll do like a stunt thing or whatever, and he'll just be like, "Yeah, that's it. Cut the check."
You're not making me like him more.
Oh man, you got to see it. Not
with your story.
You got to see it. You got to see it.
I would assume that this will be good.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing. It's those two. They're great directors. The Endless was amazing. Spring, Resolution.
They're all good. Yep.
And it's also got Jamie Dornan in it.
Okay, and remind me what he's from.
I don't know.
Okay.
That was part of the announcement. I'm sure he's a fine actor. I mean, they've done great things with people who aren't big name actors.
The actor who plays I'm not going to remember his name, but the dude who's cuffed he's fucking great.
Yeah. I would actually argue that all of the acting in their movies is great.
Yeah. The guy in Spring, the main character.
The main character in Spring, the girl in Spring.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in The Endless.
Well, it just goes to show, too, it's like with the correct directors, they probably do a very good job of explaining to the actors what they want from specific scenes.
Right.
And if it's not right, they coach them.
Yeah.
It's not everybody's George Lucas. So.
Bigger. It's poetry. So they rhyme.
Faster and more intense.
Faster and more intense.
I want to get home to my cheeseburgers.
Directing a la The Monitor.
Yes.
200 yards away.
It is crazy, isn't it? That's what just sit there in your fucking lounge chair, George.
Yep. Sipping on your iced tea.
Everyone works harder than him.
That's why he's not a director anymore. Yeah. He doesn't want to do it.
Right. It's true.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for this because it's another film from them, and I think this will be the breakout hit for them.
This is going to be the mainstream good.
I think this is the one. Well, I mean, it's not going to be the big one. It's not going to be like their Inception, but I could see this being that thing that like everybody, once it gets to like Netflix, everybody's like, oh my God, this movie's fucking nuts. It's like going to be on like that list of like great movies that you haven't seen on Netflix.
Their new one is on all these lists. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. So
good for them.
Yep. Pumped for them. That's it for news though. This was a really slow week for news.
I got some news for you.
Oh, okay.
The Lions lost again.
Oh shit. We didn't start out with football.
No, it's fine. They're terrible.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 years now, they can't play until there's like 7 minutes left in the game.
I was going to say, they mounted a comeback near the end.
They did. And I'm not one to hold back when it comes to bitching about officiating.
Right.
Lions fans are bitching about a defensive holding call that we got at the end of the game. It was a good call.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like... It could have not been called,
right?
But it was a fucking defensive holding. He grabbed the receiver's shoulder. Now it was on like the opposite side of the field, and we intercepted a ball and ran it back almost for a touchdown with like a minute and 50 left.
Yep.
Ugh, it was
Well,
brutal.
that's the hard thing for fans to accept is when like something big happens that could have saved the game.
Yeah, Green Bay yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
same shit.
It's the same thing. I look at it, I'm like, I can go either way as far as that call goes.
Well, and so there's a consistency element, and I was just thinking a few drives before that, a couple of the ticky-tack calls they called against the Niners, where it's like, yeah, you can call that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got to remember those.
Yep.
And I know in the Packer game, they called a stupid roughing the passer against the Packers earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Now, just because the moment's bigger,
just because
doesn't
it was
mean you don't throw the flag.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I look at it, I'm like, with Clay Matthews, I'm like, I guess
he's got to know.
It's just so tough because I'm like, I don't know if he necessarily put all his weight down.
He didn't, but he was a dummy because he looked it like he put his left hand under the quarterback's leg, and it kind of looked like he lifted him.
Yeah, which
shouldn't be a penalty anyways,
right.
but it is.
Yeah, even putting that issue aside,
right.
You look at it and you're like, he does get a little bit airbound, Kirk Cousins.
Sure.
And you're like, I guess, but I think a lot of that is the fact that he was in the middle of his throw, so he was off balance to begin with.
Sure.
So I'm like,
that's probably
but whatever. It was a tie. Like, I'm not going to flip the fuck out. Yeah.
Well, and it in all these games, I know Stafford missed 4 deep balls, wide open receivers, just threw it a couple yards too far.
Yep.
It's like, okay, well, none of that call does not matter.
Yep.
If he hits one of those.
Yep.
Yep. So whatever. But yeah, they're looking straight down the barrel of 0-5. Because we've got the Patriots this weekend, and then we go to Dallas, and then we play the Packers. So I'm thinking 0-5.
Oh.
Yep. And then the wheels are off, and it's
I look at. I don't count anything out against the Packers. It's division game.
That's their most winnable game, in my opinion.
And then also there was week 1 of Dallas, and they were fucking pathetic.
Yeah, but we gave up, I think it was 13 yards a carry to this little Breida guy yesterday.
Yeah, that's no Zeke.
10 carries for 130 yards or something.
That's true.
Yeah, Zeke is going to just...
That's true.
That line
that's
and
true.
Zeke, they're just going to pile drive us. It's going to be a bloodbath. I'll be there. I'm going to Dallas for that.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
I will say there was improvement, though, from last week.
No.
No?
We don't give out participation trophies. You've okay. Lost. I will not accept improvement. These are 2 teams that are going to struggle to win 7 games that you lost to start the year.
Right.
You fired your last coach because he wasn't getting you over the hump.
Right.
This regression nonsense. But they're the Lions, so who knows? They'll lose 3 and then they'll fucking win just enough to get you excited that maybe they'll they're gonna maybe make a playoff push, and then they'll lose to the Bengals or something. That's what they did last season. So, but yeah, that's enough about them.
Yeah.
Movies. What did you home watching for you this week?
Well, actually, I want to hear about this one. You told me before the podcast you watched Super Cop, and I'm really Space Cop. Sorry, Space Cop. I'm really interested about that.
All right, so Space Cop is the boys at Red Letter Media.
Yep.
They made basically they made something that they would watch on Best of the Worst.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yep.
Now, I was entertained at parts, and I was like, come on, guys, you can be funnier than this at other parts.
Right.
Do
you think that they're those kind of people that they're really charismatic, but when it comes to writing, maybe they aren't the greatest at writing?
See, I can't say they're bad at writing because I just think of the Plinkett reviews and their fucking sheer brilliance in my eyes.
But that's a different.
That's different.
That's a different format. That's like a video essay format.
Well, the other thing too is I'd be interested in seeing what they can do, if they did a real movie. Because I mean, not to not call this a real movie,
I think they would probably call it a not real movie.
Right. Well, that's just it. But like, the plot is there's the space cop who's played by Rich Evans.
Yeah.
And he
Star Wars. I love Star. God, I love his voice.
Oh, he's the best. He's like the best part of the whole crew.
Well, him and Mike is great. I mean, Jay is great because
They're all
Jay
pretty
is just, Jay's just he's like normal guy,
yes,
but
he's
smart.
the straight man.
He's the straight man, but he's also smart.
Yes.
But Mike is fucking hilarious
but
too.
Rich Evans. So like the movie, he's a space cop who like when he goes to like solve a crime, he ends up like killing everyone.
Okay.
So there's actually a scene with Patton Oswalt in this.
Holy shit.
Where he like gives him a promotion to space traffic cop. And basically what happens is space cop ends up going through like a time warp, like a portal back to 2015. Or no, he goes to 2008 maybe, or 2007, and then the story picks up when he's been living in the present for like 7 years.
Oh, okay. So it's like this weird so they skipped over a bunch of time, so it's no longer like fish out of water kind of comedy, is it?
No, he's got like a job at the police force. I mean, he's still kind of fish out of water because he's always just bitching about like,
I used to
like
be in space.
In the future, like our hot dogs are made of Chinese people and whatever. It's fucking funny. But then,
Jesus.
So there's some dumb plot where Jay Bauman plays like this alien, and they are trying to thaw out like the brain of this scientist guy who had come up with this technology to do something.
Okay.
And this is like he got himself frozen in cryo freeze. I can't remember why.
Okay.
But they accidentally unlock one of the cryo freeze chamber things.
Okay.
And that's when Mike comes in, and he's a cop from the past. So
this actually really does sound like something that would be on the best of the worst.
Yeah, totally. It totally is. So they unlock him. He's from the past, and then he gets partnered up with the space cop.
So it's past cop and future cop.
Yep.
I wonder if there was like a licensing, like somebody owns the rights to future cop.
Well, I don't know. So they've got one of their favorite, like best of the worst movies was Samurai Cop.
Yeah.
I know that. And they've done a few of those on like movies like that. So I think that's the inspiration.
Oh my God. You know what they need to? They need to make a sequel where it's like Space Cop, Past Cop, and Samurai Cop. And then it's just like everything that you can think of to combine with a cop.
I would say that, but I wouldn't be like excited to watch the sequel. Like I know they know this.
Right.
Like, but yeah, so okay, so where were we? So Mike.
Yeah.
So his character, like, he tries to light up a cig, and the police, you can't smoke in here anymore. Like, that's the character. Okay. I mean, if you've watched enough of his, like, you've seen the character.
Yep, we know that.
But yeah, that's the character and stuff like, women can vote. Like, always, cracking jokes about women and how they're not as good as men. I mean, some of that stuff was pretty funny.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, I was entertained, but I think part of the reason I was entertained is because, like, I feel like I know the guys.
Yeah, it's like watching your buddy make a movie.
Right. So yeah, I would recommend it to a Red Letter Media fan.
Right.
But it was funny because the girlfriend, I was sitting up here watching it with a buddy of mine, both big Red Letter Media fans.
Right.
And she yells up like, "Guys, what are you watching?" And I go, "Space Cop," and she goes, "It sounds really stupid," and we just laughed. But
oh yeah, I'm kind of curious because I know that they actually Mike went to school for this, for film and stuff. So how's like the sound design, cinematography? Does it look like a low budget?
I mean like the set, I was thinking to myself like, wow, the sets are like they probably put a lot of work into this.
I think where they shoot their, half in the bags.
Yeah.
They own like a warehouse.
Studio.
Yeah. So clearly they can just build their own sets. Probably just takes a shit ton of time.
I think they got like Milwaukee Police Department to sign off on some of the stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's shots of Milwaukee. Like it's funny when they show like the sights of Milwaukee.
Oh, really? Oh, so it takes place in Milwaukee. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't like try and like New York.
Yeah, future. No. No, and it's funny because the first scene of the movie is like 2053, and it's like the space cop car, which is like a Crown Vic with like some glued on, like rocket parts or whatever. And it looks like Milwaukee today.
Good.
And then he flies to the moon. And it's just...
Got to stop that moon crime.
but yeah, it was... and that's his thing. He's like, because I'm a cop from the future.
Oh, is it
space?
So that's like his tagline.
His tagline, yeah.
Got it. Love it.
Something like that.
I might check that out.
Yeah, but it's worth checking out.
I got a DVD of like kind of like a bunch of skits that they made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ordered that from them
years ago. They're great.
Yeah, they're funny. Yeah,
they're hilarious.
I also know that they showed they shoot weddings. So a little pro tip there for you and the fiance.
Possibly the Red Letter Media. How fucking cool would that be?
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Get them to be guests on the podcast.
What if they sucked?
What if they were like dicks? Or just like terrible
wedding footage. Like the worst in the business. I doubt that, but
I doubt it, and also I'd take it because there'd be commentary.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. Yeah,
what are they doing?
Can Plinkett do a wedding review?
So Jackson looks a little pudgy in his tuxedo.
He's the best.
Must be a fucking Lions fan.
Greatest goddamn character.
Yep. It's genius. It's genius. Creating a character to do your reviews is genius.
Right.
But yeah, so I watched, I started another Marvel TV show.
Oh, Jesus. Which one was this now?
This is Cloak and Dagger.
Okay.
On,
Why do you
Hulu.
keep doing this to yourself?
I'm a masochist, I
guess. Is
it
terrible? I'm assuming it's terrible.
It's better than Runaways.
Okay.
But I just decided...
You just need to stop.
I did.
Oh, really?
I stopped 3 episodes in. They say like you should give a show like 3 episodes to get its footing. I never got it. It's just it's just awful. What's like truly terrible about it is it's like they shoot scenes to fill in between music videos. Every 5 to 8 minutes, there's a new pop song that comes in.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to match what's going on at all, tonally, or be, so different that it's like this weird dichotomy between the song and what's happened. No, it doesn't need to have any of that. It's just a song. It's just a song. It's a hip hop song while they cry. It
sounds terrible.
It's bad. It's about these 2 kids and basically they have like this fate encounter when they're like 10 years old, and then they drift apart. Basically, one of the female, the main female lead, she's driving with her dad, and he falls off a bridge, whatever, and they're gonna die. And then she has light powers, and they activate. And when her light powers activate, this black child, who also happened to be in the area for different, completely unrelated reasons, sees them in the river, and his darkness powers activate. So they're dark and light, yin and yang.
Sounds really
shit and shit.
Sounds original.
It's not good. I keep watching it, and basically it's kind of like, we have to find out where our powers came from, and they don't want to be a part of each other's lives at all. So 3 episodes in, they've had a total of 5 minutes of screen time together.
Okay. So it's like following them separately.
Yes. And both of their stories are annoying. The black guy, this is not an annoying thing, but this was poorly handled, I feel. His power is teleportation.
Okay.
So he keeps on like waking up in new places.
Neat idea.
Yeah.
Like freaking out.
Sort of.
But not as freaked out as he should be.
Probably not.
Okay.
He really undersells it. The girl she's like after her dad died, her mom became an alcoholic and keeps on sleeping with all these guys and blah 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 blah. So she like never goes home. And she like is a thief. She just steals from rich people. She goes to clubs, dresses up nice, kind of seduces a guy, but before she sleeps with them. And bear in mind, I believe that she's a high school girl.
Okay.
So she's just like not going to class, just doing this with her life. And she's got a boyfriend.
Good role model.
She's got a boyfriend. And I hate doing this because it's so shallow, but her boyfriend's got one of those like brows that looks like a Neanderthal brow.
Oh, geez.
So like I just look at him and I'm like, God, you look dumb. But it doesn't help the fact that he like every time he talks, he's just, oh, well, that's weird.
All of our Neanderthal listeners are offended. They're done listening to the podcast.
You can hate me. That's fine. Everybody else does. But it's bad. It's a bad show.
Why don't you watch like the Amazon World War II Germans won World War II show?
Because I want a bitch.
New season starts soon.
I should start watching good show. I just wanted to see, like, I want to get like a really good idea.
Like we're at some point we're just gonna have to start complaining about you instead of the shows because you're watching these.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I wanted to get like a full on. I wanted to see if Marvel TV has anything redeeming.
Wait until you hear from someone reputable that like, oh, this is great.
That's the thing is like you read comments and they gotta be from 15, 16-year-old kids because they're like, this is a good show. It's so much better than the other shows. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And like I said, you can't fucking trust not Netflix. You can't trust Rotten Tomatoes with TV.
No, you really, I agree with you on that.
Runaways, 80%. Fuck you.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I mean, they have nothing. They should fire Jeff Loeb, who's the executive producer. He's in charge of all of the TV shit. Just fire him. Get rid of...
it's too bad because I've actually read a few of like his graphic novels and shit, and they're awesome.
Yeah, Long Halloween, or Long Halloween.
Did he wrote that one.
Yeah, he wrote...
I actually might have a few of them sitting over here.
He wrote... oh, God. He wrote some great comics. He really did, and a lot of them were illustrated by Tim Sale.
Did he write Hush, the Batman one?
I think he did. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, he's a good writer, but I mean, this is just not for him, this job that he has. So. Yeah,
well, there you go, Jeff. Jeff needs to go.
Get out of here, Jeff. You're not welcome anymore.
And that's Geoff, right? Geoff. Isn't that how he spells his name?
No, that's Geoff Johns.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, he's a different guy.
Okay. Well, no, I knew there was a comic book writer with a Geoff.
Yes, yeah. Who has a J and a F sound in their name.
Well, no, Jeff, that's a spelling of
Jeff. Is that really
correct?
A spelling of Jeff?
Yes.
I've always been saying Geoff Johns. I was like, that's the weirdest fucking name.
Isn't Jeffrey the giraffe written like that?
I don't know this Jeffrey.
He's the Toys R Us, although I guess that's gone now. He's dead now. He was hunted down by Amazon.
I was never there for the fucking giraffe.
No, that is a spelling of Jeff.
Okay. I was never there for the giraffe.
Who spelled his name like that. Unless he was full of shit. That name's actually Geoff.
That would be great. Your friend's just been lying about his name for years.
It's always possible. But yeah, no. So the other things I watched, I finished a good show.
Okay.
Ozark.
Yeah.
So I finished that season. Great ending. Great show. Stop wasting your time with Marvel. Just go watch that. There's like 18 episodes out there for you. It's good. I would say that my Laura Linney, the one who I used to hate, is the best part of the show.
She's off your shit list?
She is for this. I mean, she's perfect for the part.
Oh, okay.
You know, and Jason Bateman's great. It's got a neat new like lawyer quasi villain character. There's some white trash like heroin pushers who are great. Just good show. Good
pacing,
fun.
Good pacing, good music.
Yeah, well, no, it's okay. The pacing might be a little too like fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is a good plus for you probably.
Yeah.
No, right. It's not slow at all, ever.
No decompressed storytelling for this guy.
No, it's fucking bing, bang, boom.
Nice.
You know, music, it's there's not, it's a score and it's not much of like, it's very.
But does it accent the scene?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Good.
Yes, it's a great show.
That's all you can really
And
ask.
actually the look, like everything's got like a blue tint to it, like a dark
I do remember
feeling
seeing that
to
from
it.
the clips.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good show. That's one of the better shows right now, I'd say.
I will say I did do something good. I started watching the second season of The Good Place.
Okay, with Ted Danson?
Yes.
See, I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes of that, and it seemed all right.
It's a pretty good fucking show.
Is it? Okay.
It's the first season is pretty damn great. This season, I am impressed because
Sure.
they set up a scenario at the end of last season that you're like, how the fuck are they going to do this and not have it be repetitive and do all this? And they get that shit out of the way so fast, and they do it in a creative way. I was like, you guys are smart.
I know it's got a high score on Rotten Tomatoes, The Good Place.
Well, there you go. You listen to Rotten Tomatoes on this one.
All right. Then the last thing I watched at home, Patriot Games. So I watched the next Jack Ryan movie.
Okay. Who's Jack Ryan in this one?
This one is Harrison Ford.
Okay.
He is retired, Jack Ryan.
Okay.
And he's like in London for something, I don't remember what, with his family. Mm-hmm. He happens to cross paths with terrorists who I believe are trying to kill like members of like the royal family or parliament or something.
Okay.
He ends up seeing this happen in front of him and he stops it. But in the process of stopping it, he kills one of the terrorists. They're IRA, so it's Irish in this one. Not the
right.
Russians.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that.
So he kills one of them, and that one happens to be Sean Bean's brother.
You
So
know what?
Have you seen this one?
I've seen bits of this on TV,
Okay.
and it was good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's always Sean Bean. Right.
Great villain. Yeah.
So basically now he goes back home.
Mm-hmm.
He gets like a commendation. He has to testify against Sean Bean when he gets arrested.
Right.
Sean Bean gets broken out of custody.
Right.
And he's out to get revenge on Jack Ryan.
Yep.
And he's also there's this IRA terrorist plot going on where now the terrorists are trying to like keep Sean Bean in line because he's losing it wanting to get Jack Ryan, and that's kind of clouding his judgment.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not as good as The Hunt for Red October.
Right.
But Harrison Ford's good.
Hey-
God, I miss like when Harrison Ford did like real roles.
Like real acting.
Yes. Yes.
You know, it's really fateful that one guy who saved the day in Red October happened to be at the the
That's
right
right.
right place at the right time.
that's
even
right.
though he was retired.
So yeah, so he gets drawn back in because like the terrorists end up hurting his wife and daughter.
Yeah.
And the daughter is Thora Birch played her, who ended up being the daughter in American Beauty as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so he gets drawn back into the CIA. You know, James Earl Jones needs him again, so he's in it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was good. So the next week is Clear and Present Danger. So be ready for that. But I like these movies. They're good for what they are. It's got some nice little action scenes in it. There's a lot more action in this one.
Okay.
There's a cool like boat chase scene.
I love it that it's Harrison Ford doing another like family situation.
I've got to protect my family. Yeah.
I didn't kill my wife.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I was actually thinking about that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. There was that movie, there was Air Force One,
Yep.
where it was all about his family.
Yep.
Then there was the one where like he's like a hacker, or like the hackers take his family.
Oh, I didn't see that one, I don't think.
But I think that one was one, I need to protect my family. But yeah,
I love that. God.
he was so good. Now I feel like he just plays like, okay, we
Old,
want
retired,
yeah,
grumbly men.
right.
There was that one, what was it, 42?
42.
Yeah, the Jackie Robinson.
I didn't see that. Was
Oh,
he in
really?
that?
Yeah, yeah. That's actually a good movie. I would recommend it.
And I'm trying to
Chadwick Boseman.
I'm trying to find this damn movie, but the problem, oh geez, see, like I'm looking through these and some of them are just rough. 6 Days, 7 Nights.
God, there was that other one too.
Hollywood Homicide with Josh Hartnett. Firewall. That was the one.
Okay.
That was the one. His family gets kidnapped or something.
What year? 95.
2006.
Wow, that movie is 10 years too late.
Paul Bettany, Virginia Madsen,
Wow.
Robert Patrick.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think of him. That was like the end of him to me. I mean, I still liked him as Han Solo in Force Awakens, but he's not, but he's playing like, you know,
old Han Solo.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, makes sense because he is old. But
right. Well, Indiana Jones, he's playing like old Indiana Jones, but he's not playing it like he used to play it.
No.
You know,
he's playing it like how he likes to act now.
Right.
Which is just
He's
like
just crashing planes and shit.
Yeah. I want to go home and smoke my weed.
But yeah, no, Patriot Games, very good. Highly recommend these Jack Ryan movies.
Yep.
I'm assuming there's a stinker in here somewhere that I don't remember, but
It's going to be the Ben Affleck one.
oh god, I liked that one if I remember correctly.
I don't know. I feel
like
that's low hanging fruit. I feel bad. I shouldn't say
my
that.
least favorite, as I remember them, was the Chris Pine one. So we'll
That
get
would make
to that.
sense. That would make sense. It's a modern one.
Yeah, and they probably you know, I'm sure it's like the Star Trek reboot, Jack Ryan style.
Maybe. I feel like with a lot of these, like, and we're gonna get into it with the Predator, but these old IPs that are being brought back, they don't know what to do with them.
They don't get it right,
and they don't know how to update them. They don't have like it's just like, well, we'll just do it the same, but like have some, you know, we'll do some of that, you know, Paul Greengrass, you know, shit.
God.
Well, fuck it.
Right.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our home viewing. So now we've got, actually, well, technically one of these was also home viewing, but this is still, I think, out in theaters.
Newly released. But we're going to start with The Predator.
Yeah.
Shane Black could do the Equalizer take-in combo because you would expect it to be a cheesy, fucking dopey bullshit movie.
Yeah,
So-
this is not a Predator movie.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The Predator's there's supposed to be some horror, some suspense. Your characters are supposed to be nervous.
Right.
He's supposed to be scary.
There should be some ambiance to things.
Yeah,
and
no.
this is like, I don't even know what this is. This is generic. This is Battlefield Earth.
Ooh.
That's what this is. This is generic sci-fi movie.
The way it opens, I knew it was broken from the first shot.
Really?
It opened with like a spaceship scene, like a Star Trek. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, but I understand that the Predator is an alien.
Right.
And I understand, you know, there's a sci-fi element to Predator, but that's not Predator. The point of Predator aren't like, oh, look at the screens that the Predator hits the buttons on. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't you hate the whole like the subtitles come up and it's in their
so
language?
Stupid.
And then it changes the English.
Then he flies through a giant vagina portal.
Right.
And
I'm tired of space portals in movies.
oh my god,
at
it
this
was.
point.
I was sitting there like, this is how you're starting the fucking movie, is with
Right.
this cartoony like chase. Like it could have been a Star Trek movie. It
gotta-
could have been a Star Wars movie.
I mean, and there's a way that you can start your movie with in space, but I feel like it's not advisable with a Predator movie because they're the scary thing that's different. When you start out your movie with them, it's like, oh, this is normal. You want to start out with the human characters.
You want you to learn about your sniper character.
Yeah.
He's in battle somewhere, whatever, like doing some mission, and like you should be kind of invested in whatever he's doing.
Yep.
And then, oh fuck, here's this outside force that shows up and everything's fucked. That is not what this is. They clearly know people are only here to see the Predator.
Yeah.
We'll give them the Predator, but they don't understand why people like the Predator.
Less is more.
Correct.
Less is more. There's dumb, like, let's just
Break down the plot.
okay. So plot is There's a guy.
Good luck.
There's our new Charlie Hunnam.
The guy from Logan.
Yeah, the guy from Logan who is fine. Everybody loves him in Logan. He's fine.
No, he wasn't that great in Logan. Do people love him in Logan?
Yeah, everybody's like, he's a great new villain. He's fine. He's fine.
He's not even like the fucking villain.
No.
But
whatever.
The villain in Logan is an idea.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I don't understand why people are like, oh, he's so great.
Yeah.
He's got a southern accent and he's got a robot hand.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't care. He's fine in this, but he's a sniper, and then oh no, he has an encounter with the Predator. Oh shit. Everybody dies.
The Predator. Now, the Predator skins someone right at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want that logged for the future of this plot.
Okay. So yeah, that happens. He gets out of that situation. He gets some of the gear and he sends it to a PO box. And then the government people are like, "Ooh, you saw an alien. We're gonna send you to a loony bin instead of fucking debriefing you and all this shit."
Yeah. So the government is hell bent on covering up any knowledge of the Predator. So they basically lobotomize people or kill them or so. I don't know where they're fucking going. If they were gonna just kill him, I don't know why they put him in the prison crew with the gang. And
that makes no sense because clearly he's not crazy.
Right.
But yeah, he gets interviewed. They put him on a crazy bus. They're like, "You're crazy," and then they've got the Predator in one of their little bunkers, and the government, I mean, and then they're like, "Well, send him to the bunker for some reason," and then the Predator gets out, and a big predator comes to Earth to hunt the little predator. I basically just told you the fucking trailer, I guess.
Yeah, so the intricacies to the plot is there's also a biologist here who the government needs to bring in because they found in the little predator, and it's not a little predator, it's just a normal fucking predator.
Yeah.
But yeah, they found traces of human DNA,
which explains why she's in the plot. And then also,
she's in the plot. So this scene, the first predator breakout scene, probably the strongest scene in the movie. They've introduced Olivia Munn as a
scientist,
a biologist.
Yeah, not a fighter.
Right. So the predator breaks out, kills a bunch of people. Starts to escape.
Yeah.
Olivia Munn grabs a trank gun rifle thingamajig and chases the predator.
Yeah.
I was dumbfounded.
I will say this. You're saying it's the best scene when he's breaking out. It's the best scene because it's the only thing that we kind of wanted to see.
Well, right.
But
I don't want to give credit to the rest of the scene. I'm just speaking very literally of in the lab, the predator wakes up.
Right.
We don't know why he wakes up, by the way.
No, I don't fuck. No, I don't
it just
know.
wakes up.
Yeah.
It's tranked or whatever, but it just wakes up.
Yep.
It wakes up right when the big predator is coming to Earth.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it knew, but
they didn't even have it makes no sense. They didn't have dudes with guns on him at all. That makes no sense.
Right.
But then talking about that scene, he's killing people in such quick edits. I hate it. It's that shaky cam move. I hated it. You could barely tell what was going on.
There were a couple neat kills.
There were some neat kills, but I hated the cinematography.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And it's just standard science fiction
yes,
room.
That's where they fucked this.
Okay, so we also forgot to mention that Charlie Hunnam Light. He's got a son who's got Asperger's.
Okay, yes, that's
who is
clear.
on the spectrum. I don't even know if they make it particularly clear what he has.
I think he has Asperger's. I would assume because why else would you have the opening first scene with him?
Right.
Kids going, "Hey, I'm in the mood for an Asperger."
Yeah, which is it just makes those kids look gay. They're gonna eat his ass. Really? That's the worst insult. Never mind that you're a terrible person for making fun of somebody on the spectrum, but Asperger? I'm in the mood for some Asperger?
I'm sure there's some mean kids out there.
Right.
Do you remember knowing anyone
Nobody
who would,
in high school
openly
or...
walk up to a child who had a known disability and just, hey, Mr. Autism, or, you know.
No. I'd say the worst thing that I ever saw was that people would laugh in their presence when those people would do something not appropriate.
Right.
That was nobody ever was like, hey, man.
See, but that's like immature kids that just can't hold it together.
Yes.
So it's almost like, I mean, it's mean, but it's forgivable in a sense.
Right.
Like we've all done,
like you can't, what do you expect from a 12-year-old
dumb children
who's, watching a kid run
down.
Yeah,
they come in and openly bully this kid.
Yeah.
Now, the reason this kid works into the plot is that the Predator helmet and like wrist thingamajig got sent to the P.O. box, but apparently he didn't pay his P.O. box bill, so it got forwarded to his house.
Which makes no sense because it's been like 12 hours since he sent it there.
Yeah, that's true too. It would take some time. He's like in Mexico, or where is he? I don't even know where he is.
Well, and it's like, oh, we got this new package from him. What, has he not been paying the PO thing for a long time?
Yeah, I don't know. And you better have a giant PO box because this was like a crate that he sent back.
Yeah, this was this
But yeah, the kid gets a hold of it, and he's set up as like being on the spectrum, so he's highly intelligent in some ways. He's like Rain Man or something.
Yep.
He clicks a few buttons on the thingy that he finds in the box, and all of a sudden the big predator who lost the predator in the vagina portal at the beginning of the movie now knows they're on Earth.
Oh, so guess what? I was kind of right.
You were kind of right. And I was kind of right. That the little predator ends up being like a good guy.
Yeah.
Which was what I was awfully worried about.
I would have rather that predator had teamed up with the humans rather than what happened.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. That would have been more interesting.
Oh, God, it was so stupid. Everything about it was stupid. Because now the bad guy in this is Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us.
Yep.
What a step back for that dude. Because I like him, and this was just a fucking ham-fisted, terrible performance.
I don't think his performance was bad, but it was because I'm sure he was doing what he was told to do.
Well, no, it's not his fault as an actor, but
and I think even though his lines are terrible and his character is thin as fuck, he still is a good actor. He still made me believe it. Like there was the scene where he's got the kid and the kid's kidnapped. Spoilers, I guess. I guess we're just in spoilers.
Just go into fucking spoilers. I mean, we've been describing the plot the whole time.
So he's got the kid and he's like, now, you wouldn't want to get in there now, would you, or whatever? And kid's like, oh, that's reverse psychology. I can do that too. Don't go fuck yourself. And the kid was great, but
that's
then
a very Shane Black.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, have a kid say go fuck yourself. Yep. That's good. But I mean, the kid is from Room, and he's great. But Sterling K. Brown, his reaction, I'm like, he's a fucking terrible person, but I kind of like him.
I hated him in this. I just hated the character.
I hated everybody on the bus that Charlie Hunnam Light was a part of, though.
So he ends up teaming up with like a group of ragtag, misfit, ex-military guys who have all been imprisoned
mentally,
they've all got a quirk.
Unstable. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought there was a really good bit with Thomas Jane, though, when he said, eat your pussy to Olivia Munn. That made me laugh out loud pretty good.
I rolled my eyes because he's supposed to have Tourette's.
Tourette's, yes.
And it's the South Park rendition of Tourette's. Piss, fuck.
What was the movie with Deuce Bigalow? When he takes what's her name out on a date, Amy Poehler or whatever, and she has it, and she's just yelling obscenities.
Surprise, surprise! I never saw Deuce Bigalow.
Deuce Bigalow. There's a funny scene in Deuce Bigalow featuring a cop who's complaining about having a thin dick. That's pretty fucking funny.
Color me surprised that there's something funny in Deuce Bigalow because seriously, that sounded
I'm a Schneider
sarcastic.
fan.
Really?
I'm a Rob Schneider fan. Hey, hate me all you want, guys. Doesn't mean I like all of his movies, but I like him.
Okay.
I feel like he's got to be a funny guy.
You know what his greatest role is?
Oh,
is him in Surf Ninjas.
Whew.
Yeah.
I don't know if I even remember that.
You got to check that movie out, man. That movie, he is the comic relief. He is fucking fantastic.
He's funny. I like him. Yeah.
That whole movie is actually pretty funny for like a 90s.
The Tourette's.
Yes.
That got a big laugh. I thought that was funny.
I thought it was dumb as fuck.
I mean, it's dumb. The whole movie's dumb.
Yeah,
the humor in this is all dumb. How did this guy do
the nice guys, right?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
None of the humor, I can't remember what joke it was, but there was one joke that made me actually laugh. And the little kid one got me to go, You know, it was like,
I thought some of the banter was like funny in that immature, stupid way, but this movie's not. I'm not going to this to laugh.
No, it's not the right tone for a Predator movie. That's the thing about a franchise. When you have an established franchise, you kind of have an established tone.
What's funny too is what you said. Sorry, I'm just spitballing here. I'm just going random places. But what you said about how this is too sci-fi, like Predators to me had a very like sci-fi plot,
right?
In that it took place on like a different world, and there was some like different changes to the lore and stuff, different situation.
Yeah,
same situation, but with a spin on it.
But the execution though
didn't feel like a sci-fi movie. They just changed the dressing.
No, you're not like on Pandora and all the flowers are spreading out and wanting to connect with you.
But yeah, so giant predator comes to Earth to fight little predator.
Yeah.
And apparently the deal is that the predators are obsessed with collecting the strongest example of whatever genes they need to from these different worlds. So this is why they go to all these worlds and hunt.
Yeah, they take genes from whatever is the best and most powerful species on that planet.
And they try to find like the best
version of that.
So the little predator, and stop me if you need to correct me here. The little predator kind of comes to in part like warn the humans and leave them the technology that they'll need to fight off.
But it doesn't, but it makes, you're right, but it also is completely moot because they said that we're going to kill ourselves because of global warming, and then the predators will just come and pick off who's ever left.
Because they like a warm climate and whatever.
Yeah, so it's like, who cares about your predator killer robot armor bullshit? Which, by the way, Shane Black,
oh my God,
you just introduced the Iron Man armor into Predator.
That is what it was.
Like, fuck you. Like, that's so unoriginal. And also the CGI on it looked terrible.
It was terrible, but we haven't even gotten to that.
No, but you're right.
But the point is, as I logged earlier, the first thing this fucker did was like skin a human.
Yeah.
I mean, he kills a bunch of humans. They kind of treat him as like almost like, there's a scene where like we need to help the little predator because now there's a big predator and there's predator dogs, which we'll get to as well.
Right.
It just made no sense.
No.
And then, I mean, what's the point of doing anything if the world is ending in one generation?
Yeah.
Like they literally say like global warming's going to wipe us out in 2 generations, maybe even one.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what are the stakes here then?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
Yep.
You're not solving global warming in this plot.
No.
Like that's still going to happen.
No. And I also love the fact that they get one set of armor and it's like the predator killer. I'm like, if they send 10, you're fucked.
Yeah, no, not against that predator killer. Oh, how about this? The predator doesn't have to do like any aiming or fighting himself at all. He's just got an auto fight feature where if the predator is attacked, it just shoots whatever attacked them.
Yeah, this actually kind of actively, through the advancement of their technology, makes the predator look like a fucking bitch.
Yeah, no, it was not nothing in this was like a good addition to the predator lore.
No, it actually shits all over the lore as far as I'm concerned. I'm just going to go like all that stuff aside. That's all like, that's all like window dressing to a movie almost.
Okay.
Like, how are the characters? Okay. Do the characters grow and change, and do you like the characters? I didn't like McKenna, which is
the main character.
Main guy.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam Light.
I didn't like him. I didn't think he was interesting in any way. He has no arc. Olivia Munn has no... It's literally just like these people, you meet them, they have their issue like, oh, I'm not with my family, or, oh, I like animals, or whatever Olivia Munn's thing is. I don't even know if she has I don't think she has a thing. And then it's just Predator shows up and they're like, oh, fuck. But they never learn anything or grow to stop the big Predator. They never do anything. There's a terrible flight battle at the end. Like, it's just, there's no emotion. There's no characters in this. It's really bad from a script perspective.
The only character in this, like what they could have had be a character, would have been the original Predator character.
Right.
Like, you could have done something interesting.
I actually thought about that as I was walking out of the theater. I was like, a movie where like the Predator is like the main character would have been kind of interesting. Like, maybe it was this guy and like he's the renegade that they set him up to be, and he's trying to get out of like the big Predators area. I don't know if the big Predator is the only one of his kind or if there are a bunch of them.
It's not important apparently.
But I mean, like, him getting out of that situation would have been a more interesting movie than this.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have been hard to make a more interesting movie.
I hated seeing like, oh, it was like Stranger Things, but dog shit, because like the dogs are running through like suburban America on Halloween.
Yes.
Which by the way, good job, Shane Black. You didn't set a movie during Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of his...
That's his big thing.
Yeah, there you go. Big achievement.
Yeah.
No, but there's so many things that don't make sense and aren't explained. Like, I feel like there's something missing, or there's a bunch of shit missing.
Well, apparently
reshoots, right? And cuts.
They cut it down because, like, it's like they hired Shane Black.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, well, we don't want this guy who did Iron Man 3. The movie that doesn't seem to fit in that
and it pisses
franchise.
Everyone off.
Yeah, let's hire him. But then when he does the thing that he does, oh shit, well, let's cut it all.
God, I'll tell you what, Iron Man 3 is a hell of a lot better than this pile of shit.
This is Shane Black's worst movie by a long shot.
But yeah, no, what they do, so the dogs.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the dogs, like, they're clearly on Big Predator's team.
Yes. One gets lobotomized.
Yes.
And then it's on their team.
Yeah,
for
it's
some
on their
reason.
team. It eats a grenade. It spits grenades.
Well, it spits the grenade back out.
Yeah, but there's like, it's just fucking...
It's bulletproof, then it's not bulletproof.
That was a thing with the big Predator at the end.
Yeah.
Like, they kill the Predator by shooting it, but you've watched them shoot it, like, for the last 35 minutes.
Well, because, like, there's a throwaway line where she's like, oh, did you see that? It grew an exoskeleton underneath its skin.
That I didn't notice. I didn't see that happen. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't make it obvious.
Yeah, they didn't make... That's the thing. They didn't make it obvious. Also, I'm like... I thought exoskeletons were like
on the outside.
Yeah. So how can it be an exoskeleton?
An endoskeleton.
Yeah, or just a skeleton. Like, what the fuck was that? Like
it's a skeleton
you're a
outside
scientist.
of its other skeleton. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But the point is, like, you needed that line, like, look at that, it's growing an exoskeleton, and put the fucker on the screen because like, it did something, I know, like,
there was something going on under its skin that you could vaguely see.
Yeah, but by the time she said the line, you never cut back to show the skeleton. So I was like, okay, well, I don't remember what this creature looks like exactly.
Right.
So by the time I see it again, it's not going to look any different to me than it did. And it didn't look different.
No.
And then you had shit like Sterling K. Brown's character died.
Yeah.
I don't really remember how he died.
Yeah, that was really bad because it just happened so quick. Oh, there was this bit. I was like, whoa, that's amateur shit right there. I love pointing out the amateur shit in the Hollywood movies. But there's a bit where Olivia Munn has to like block a bullet or something from the Predator. It's at the end of the movie, the big Predator. And she takes the helmet because she has the helmet of this little Predator and she puts it like on her head or whatever. And it shoots it, but like the force of the bullet or whatever makes her like ricochet backwards a little bit.
Okay.
But they made it go in slow motion, but they didn't shoot it at the right frame rate. So it gets all like really weird looking for a second. I was just like, oh, that's
They broke the movie there.
They didn't break it. I was just like, you didn't plan for that.
So
it happened.
Stupid.
It was such a quick, like, clearly what it was such a quick take that they're like, oh man, if you don't know what you're looking for, this doesn't register. We have to slow this down. Fuck, we didn't shoot it.
Got ya. Got ya.
Whatever.
Well, okay. And then I feel like there's something missing at the end because basically they end up, the big predator tries to escape after kidnapping the Asperger's kid because apparently this, going back to the earlier thing, this Asperger's kid is the, he's on the spectrum and he's special. So that's the evolutionary, because he could advantage.
He could like translate and work their technology, the predator technology.
Oh, and they set it up because he's got the same last name as the McKenna. Yeah. So they're like, the big predator's like, we want McKenna.
Yeah.
And like everybody's like, oh, and they like, oh, it's set up so that it's the main character. But you're thinking in the audience like, no, it's the kid.
Yeah.
And then they take the kid and it's like, and then Olivia Munn's like, Asperger's. What
doesn't make any sense about that at all is that the terminology that it uses, because conveniently we have a translator for the predators, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, on the ship there's like the translator voice,
and I'm like, that's so weird because I thought that like this kid was special because he was the one who could translate,
right?
But whatever. So he says that the McKenna is a warrior, and you're like, kid's not a warrior. Like, I understand, like, they're doing it to throw off the audience, but I'm like...
No, but he is a warrior because of what he fights through every day. Honestly.
Oh,
right?
Man.
I mean, isn't that the... And he knows the weapons. Like, he can use the computer shit.
I suppose if predators don't need to aim for shit, then I guess their idea of warriors is kind of skewed.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Like, what the fuck was that? Oh, no, it just automatically fires.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so there's nothing special about these creatures at all except for they're nerds that created, like, really awesome technology.
Yeah, you literally break the predators because the idea is, like, they've been doing this to themselves for a long time. I'm assuming that they've been genetically hybriding themselves. And it's like, well, then you're nothing. You're just like You're like a Power Rangers like Megazord.
Yeah, terrible.
You're nothing. Fuck, like that's bad. That's just what it does to the predator is bad.
I agree. Now getting to the point I was trying to make before I went off on Asperger's. No, I think it was my fault. They end up in a chase on a spaceship. And like it goes on for like 5 minutes or feels like 20 minutes. It's terrible.
So happy when it was over.
The spaceship crashes. Like they take off. Olivia Munn is there. She didn't get on the spaceship.
Yep.
The spaceship flies for a long time, and you can only imagine is like an speed of like an airplane.
Yeah.
It crash lands somewhere, and they fight for like all of like a minute.
Yep.
And then Olivia Munn is just there.
Yep.
Where the thing crashed. Now, they didn't make it clear that the spaceship was circling and coming back.
No.
They didn't.
It could have been, I would say, at least 20 miles away.
I would agree.
At least 20 miles away.
Yeah, no, and she gets there. She must be like
the Flash. She's the new Flash.
But
breaking news.
We saw her run at the beginning. She wasn't that fast.
That's true.
But
she had to keep her, secret identity.
That could be true.
Anyways.
But yeah, no, it was. Anyways, yeah, they shoot the Predator, and at that point is where I'm confused because I'm like, you've been shooting him for fucking the whole movie.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Right, and now you. Oh wait, you killed him.
I don't understand too. They're like, oh well, light him up, and so they shoot some gas, and then they make the gas ignite, and then he catches on fire. And then Thomas Jane jumps on him and starts stabbing him, and I'm like, well, if he's bulletproof, why isn't he knife proof?
No, of course not, because the exoskeleton doesn't stop knives.
Yeah, the exoskeleton just keeps moving.
Maybe they burned off the exoskeleton in that burn scene. I don't know. I don't know.
Happened. It just everything is so unclear.
Right, exactly. The movie's broken. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Now,
none of the action carries any weight because
there's no tension.
There's no tension. You don't care about any of the characters. That's one thing. But the other thing is like they just keep introducing new things.
And it's a pile of shit. It feels like it should have been 5 movies or something.
Yeah, it does feel like we've got Predator in suburban neighborhood. We've got Predator versus Predator. We've got Predator splicing. It's like they've got at least 3 or 4 movies going on. Yeah, and none of them coalesce into a whole
cohesive narrative. Right?
Yeah,
and then it ends with the little predator left the predator killer
armor.
But they set it up like you're like, oh, what's this? Is it going to be like Alien? Like,
right.
What's going to come out of this? I would assume like you've set this up as something where when I see it, it's going to be like a nostalgia, like Easter egg thing,
or anything.
You could have thrown Arnold in the fucker,
right?
Like it doesn't. You don't even have to explain it. If Arnold pops out of that thing.
Right.
I'm game for the next one. I don't even care how good this one was.
Right.
Like no, it's a thing that this nerd puts on and he turns into like mega predator,
robo predator, mecha predator.
And then he says, the main character goes, "That's my new suit.
Yeah.
I hope it comes in a 42."
Yeah.
And then credits.
Yep.
So yeah, D for this one.
Yeah, that was such a I think the ending might have been the worst part of the movie. And there were a lot of bad parts in the movie, but only when like Thomas Jane and
the gang.
Yeah, and the gang were making their jokes where I was like, oh God, really? Those were the parts where I was really not engaged, which is the parts that the movie really wanted you to be engaged.
I would say I was on the opposite end on this. Some of their banter was like the only thing that I felt like was decent in the movie. I don't know. But I don't blame anyone who didn't. I mean, if it's not, if it's not making you laugh, then it's the worst part of the fucking movie.
Right. And the thing is like, I can't even blame Shane Black because if they edited this thing down, jokes are timing. And if they made him edit scenes down, maybe those jokes suffered because of timing.
It's just a poorly written, stupid plot.
There's
nothing good about it.
Actually, that I should take that back. Shane Black did it really terrible. There are always bits in his movies that I like. Like I did like the bit where the son's like, "I'm sorry that I didn't grow up to be the way that you wanted me to be," and he's like, "No, I didn't really grow up to be the way I wanted to be."
I hated that part.
Did you really?
Is this like the poignant scene when they're sitting, like the little tearjerker scene?
Right. Well, it's not. It's definitely not a tearjerker by any regard. But I liked the line. I'm not saying I liked the scene. I liked that in a different movie could be a great line.
Like they go into this thing where he's like, the difference between a killer and a soldier is that a killer doesn't enjoy it, or a killer enjoys it, and it's like. Yeah, then you go, and then like 3 scenes later, there's a quippy one-liner where he's like, "Don't tell my kid about this."
Yeah, you're making me a liar.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna enjoy this. Yeah. It was bad action movie. That's what this is. This is a bad action movie featuring the Predator.
Yep. So don't recommend it.
Don't recommend it. Don't go see it. Check out this one instead.
Mandy. Now, Mandy
Moore.
Mandy Moore stars in Mandy, a documentary. No, I'm just kidding. So this one was one where I had read some things on it months ago.
Right.
After it had performed, or it had been premiered at Sundance or whatever. Mm-hmm. And everybody was saying it was great.
Right.
So I knew it was coming out this weekend. I looked on my phone. I'm like, oh shit, it's not playing anywhere near here. But then I saw that it was streaming.
Right.
So this one is available for streaming. You can watch it right when this is over.
Amazon.
You can pause us right now and watch it. I'm going to tell you right now, I highly recommend this one. So if you don't want it spoiled.
It's a recommend from me because it is something strange to behold.
It is bizarre.
It is a bizarre movie. It's probably the most original movie I've seen all year.
It's pretty good. See, now...
From an execution standpoint.
The style of it.
Not plot-wise, but,
right.
But yeah.
But yeah, basically, Nicolas Cage and his wife Mandy live in this cottage.
Yes, that's right. You heard Nicolas Cage is in a good movie again.
So they live in this cottage, and they kind of set him up as this kind of they keep to themselves.
Right.
She reads a lot of like dark fantasy novels and shit.
This is set in the 80s, by the way.
83. Yep, another 80s movie.
Yep.
But this one feels more 70s, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Now one day Mandy is walking down the street and this like Jesus freak cult leader sees her, and like, Jeremiah, played by
Ben Mendelsohn.
Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne from Batman Begins.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Thomas Wayne plays him. So Thomas Wayne sees her walking down the street, and then and by the way, good performance from Thomas Wayne in this, I thought.
Oh my God.
So he sees her and he tells his cult people, like, I need to have her. She's mine, because he's had some sort of vision from Christ or something where like the world is yours. So basically he feels entitled to do whatever. Now, he can't get them on his own. He's got some sort of
how far are we gonna go on this plot?
We're gonna spoil the whole thing.
I was gonna say spoilers.
Okay.
Because beyond that, we're getting into some crazy shit.
Okay. So basically there's this horn, and it reminded me of a fantasy movie. Like,
absolutely.
I know there's Ben the Horn and Game of Thrones and shit. They have a horn that
Horn of Gondor.
Right. So
which is different, but
so they go out to this field and they blow this horn, and these like biker gang crazy fuck Mad Max type guys show up.
Yep. And Hills Have Eyes kind of shit.
Yeah, they're like monsters, kind of.
Yeah. For a while, I thought they were demons.
Yes.
Like, I legit was like, oh, they're like Ghost Rider.
They're like Hellraiser characters.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They actually have a little bit of a Hellraiser reference with one of their character designs.
So they blow this horn. These fucking demon creatures come out. They show up at the house. Chaos ensues. They kill Mandy and leave Nicolas Cage. And from there, Nicolas Cage goes on a journey to get revenge.
Yes.
Now, what I left out of this is the style this is done in. It's very white trash, 70s exploitation grindhouse
I was
feel.
going to say, this is like, this could have been a direct-to-VHS movie from 1982.
Correct.
Very grindhouse, very, very stylistic.
Oh yeah, some of the lighting and the different effects they did on the characters was fantastic.
Yep.
It felt to me like a really good Rob Zombie movie. That's what I would kind of compare it to, because the fucking white trash freak, cultish characters.
Yep.
There's a really great scene in this, I thought, where like these characters have been tripping on acid. They took some crazy batch of LSD.
The bikers.
And they've gone on. Which all
one?
of them, like the gang too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So they've taken this crazy batch of LSD that they like harvested from some bug or something, and they capture Mandy and they inject her with this shit. And it's funny because like the movie feels like an acid trip, and it's very, built into the story.
It is.
You know what I mean? So there's a scene where he like kind of has this monologue about how like she's his and he's, has the rights to her. And it's almost like an allegory or a metaphor on like, I don't know, almost like the Me Too feeling, where it's like, this man represents men who think that, or people who think that they can just do whatever they want with no consequences.
Well, this is juxtaposed with Nick Cage driving in his car home from work one day, because he's a logger. And he's driving home, and they're like the peaceful, idyllic people. But they're like, the thing about them is like, they don't have kids. They live out in the woods alone. They're not like what you would picture like a perfect family being. No. Because like she's like kind of rocker chick, kind of. Like
she wears like old heavy metal t-shirts and shit.
So, but there's this Ronald Reagan, I believe it is, I think, who's on the radio, and he's talking about how good Americans, Christian Americans, that we're good people. They don't believe in porn and this, that, and the other. And then you get into the Jesus freaks.
And they're the worst.
And they're the worst
Yep.
human beings.
Yeah.
Like to the point where when we first met Jeremiah and he's got that scene where he's laying down and then he has like...
So bizarre.
I started wondering if he was literally the devil.
Yeah. But no, he's just tripping balls.
He's just tripping balls, and he is an insane person who believes that God has talked to him
Yes.
and said that everything in the world is yours.
Yep.
Your desires are paramount.
Right.
And it's insane. His delivery. Like
He was great.
like he's talking to the older woman.
Yeah, the one who he just treats like complete dog shit.
Yeah. And he's like, don't say another word. Go and get brother whatever. And then she says like, but brother, and he just goes, go get dirty. He just fucking loses. It looks like he's having like a seizure.
Now, let's be honest. I've been there where it's just like, dear, just leave me alone.
Yeah, but this was, I mean, we've all been there where we're that pissed. But I mean, he was like writhing in the bed.
And then like the one other girl, I think he must bang the young girl, right? Because she gets like sent in and then the door gets closed and whatever happens.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, no. And he clearly like trusts the guy to go do the job.
Yeah.
Like the woman's a fuck up in his eyes. But yeah, I mean, they've got a scene where basically he goes on this monologue because they've given her, everyone's tripping balls. Mm-hmm. And it is, she laughs at him. Mm-hmm. Like you see his dick. Yeah. And it's like a shriveled penis. Like he just, I was in the pool. Yeah. And she starts laughing at him.
Because he puts on this album.
Yes, his album.
He's like, you like the Carpenters?
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good.
Jeremiah and the Carpenters.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, man, it's bad.
And then she laughs at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, you got to die.
Well, on her laugh, too, it starts out... Actually, no, it just starts out demonic.
So trippy.
Because at that point, she's like all in red. There's all these different colors. All the rest of the cult is in the room with him, but nobody is saying anything. And then there's that bit where like he's doing like this giant monologue to her.
Yeah.
And it constantly is like fading her face
weird.
into his face.
Oh, yeah. And it was like really unsettling because it looked...
At times, it looked like a one person.
Yes.
That was... And I feel like there had to have been a meaning to that. I just don't know what it was.
Well, it was very trippy.
Yes.
I mean, it was very much something where, like, I felt like I was having, like, an acid flashback just watching this movie.
Right.
It's a crazy fucking movie.
Yeah.
They
burn her alive.
In like a sleeping bag or something.
And I kept on hoping the whole movie, I shouldn't have, but I kept on hoping that they had tripped him out. And it was really like that fat guy that they were like, oh, we have to make a sacrifice for the pudgy.
How crazy was that little scene where he, like, there's moments of like made me laugh in this too. Because they set up that the fat guy was going to be sacrificed, and the way they did it, he's like outside the window or something.
Yeah.
And like right when they get the Mandy,
Yep.
like all of a sudden like the bad like biker dude or whatever grabs him and like he just kind of like floats backward.
Yep.
Man, and it made me laugh. I thought it was funny.
Those bikers were, I mean, okay, so Jeremiah is like a great villain.
Yes.
Like one of the best of the year.
Yeah, I would agree.
But those bikers are fucking amazing.
Yeah, they were pretty badass. Like you had like the Bolt. They did look like Hellraiser characters.
Yeah, well, and they all had like almost like a different animalistic nature to them.
Yeah.
Like one of them kind of felt like a snake.
Yep. The woman. I think it was a woman one.
Can't
the slender
tell.
one who's got him cuffed to the thing.
Yeah. God, that was it was really impressive.
It was. And then there was like the knife dick guy who's like doing mountains of blow while watching porn.
Yeah. Yeah. And he reminded me of like almost like a gorilla.
It was nuts.
And then there was the guy outside just watching a car burn.
Yep.
And he kind of reminded, he had a little bit of the Black Knight from Monty Python.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like, because like he gets like I forget exactly how much of, like, I think he gets part of his head chopped off or something, and then he's like, she's still burning.
That was good.
Still burning, and then he chops off the head,
dude.
And then that's where the comedy comes in, because Nicolas Cage uses the flaming head of the dead enemy to light his cigarette.
Yes, great. Well, and Nicolas Cage in this.
Yeah.
I looked over at my buddy. I was watching this with him, like, the role he was born to play.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great. He really was.
There were moments. It's a weird movie because there were moments of like such bizarreness that you're like, I think I'm supposed to laugh here.
Yes, you are supposed to laugh.
Because like he gets back into the house. He finally gets himself.
The bathroom scene.
The bathroom scene.
Amazing.
Because I was like, okay, yeah. You'd probably want to drink after that situation, watching
and
your girlfriend.
He clearly has this booze hidden, which is kind of like a neat little touch.
Yeah.
You know, I thought. But yeah, he goes in the bathroom and he starts just hammering down this vodka.
Yeah.
And like kind of psycho laughing, crying.
Yeah. And it goes in, it's like borderline, like, I feel absolutely awful for you, but at the same time, kind of laughing at how ridiculous you're being now.
He's in his undies.
Yes,
his tighty whities.
And he walks in the house and he's in his tighty whities and he watches a commercial for Goblin Macaroni.
Goblin Macaroni.
Oh man, that was weird. That was really weird. I love the fact like the girlfriend was like an artist. This Mandy was an artist.
Yes.
And she drew like weird shit that almost felt like a foreshadowing for what was coming into the movie.
They were like blending it, like it's hard to describe, but the way they filmed this, like things like you said with the girl and the guy, kind of like like things were like transposed on top of each other, and,
right?
You know, like their bedroom.
Yeah,
with like the windows and.
Oh man, that house was kind of cool.
Oh, it was amazing.
I would not want to live there because you got to be really open with yourself.
Yes, well, you got to be really open, and you can't hate sunlight,
right?
If you're trying to sleep, because
that was really interesting too. Like you're talking about colors. There's so much red in this.
Yes,
and red is clearly like the demonic, dangerous situation, whatever. Which was interesting. Where when you would see Nicolas Cage be bathed in the red, because you're like, oh shit, Nicolas Cage, he did a little bit of the LSD.
When he did the coke, that was just fantastic.
Yeah. That was great because he just looks over with the crazy Nick Cage eyes. But like he's becoming his enemies.
Yeah.
He literally puts on one of their jackets. He literally takes one of their bikes. He's literally going around killing people.
Well, there's a scene in this where he like goes and talks to that black dude who was in the original Predator.
Yes.
Like that badass dude.
Yeah.
And it's like a normal movie for a minute.
Yep.
Like they're in like a trailer, like, you know, and he tells the backstory of those like demon guys and the cult and how they took a bad trip.
It's like the one exposition scene
and it's
in the whole movie.
And it's weird because it's normal, so it stands out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Nicolas Cage is like forging a fucking axe, like a battle axe.
Yeah. It came out of nowhere. And you're just like, that's a badass axe.
I literally laughed and I went, this is awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then he goes on the hunt.
Yes.
And, you know, it's a very revenge.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the movie got a little more normal in like themes and shit as it went. But there's just so many cool scenes. Like there's the one scene where he shows up like at the base of operations for the guy who makes the LSD or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like a tiger in a cage. And that actor's great, actually. He actually was the original Night's King before they changed him in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, so hold on. He was also in, speaking of Rob Zombie, he was in Rob Zombie's movie 31. He also, I'm trying to kill time while I find his name here. Sorry, people. His name's Richard Brake. He was also in like Doom, Hannibal, Batman Begins. He was the guy who killed Thomas Wayne.
He killed Thomas Wayne. That's right. That's where I knew him from.
Yeah. So he's a good actor, and he's a character actor. He plays kind of the same weirdo
man,
but
that scene was great.
Scene with them where he like,
but he doesn't. Nick Cage doesn't say anything.
It's true. He doesn't
in that scene. He just stares at him and he's like, "Oh, you're right. It's not right." And then he just lets the tiger out, which, by the way, there was tiger foreshadowing because in his tidy whities, he also had a tiger shirt on.
He did. Well, and like all the little touches, like this guy, like just licking the acid off of his fingers. He's got like the sheets of acid like soaking, and just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Did he let that guy go? Or did he kill that guy?
He let him be, I think. It was great too. He's like, "You've got a cosmic darkness about you." And I was like, this movie like is bathed in, like you were saying, like this acid LSD trip language, but it's also like filtered through like sci-fi fantasy.
It's very, I was thinking from the beginning, I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing a dark fantasy here.
Yeah.
This is like, they've set it up with like even like the transitions between scenes had a little bit of that Stranger Things feel where like the chapter name would pop up on the screen.
All those were nuts and cool, and like they came like the title card comes in over halfway through the movie.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
Yep.
Like, I know it sounds weird to be like, ooh, title card shit, but it is. It's weird.
Yeah.
And then it like this movie was cool as fuck. Like, I didn't love it, but I loved the originality.
See, I loved this. I was just having so much fun with this. Like, it's not over the top. I mean, some people would say it's over the top violent, but I didn't think it was like,
no. It didn't. With Mandy's death, I thought we were in store for something really, really insane, because I was like, these are the worst people ever. Like, they deserve the worst kind of deaths. But it's not torture porn.
No,
it
is not torture porn.
It's really not even gory. Like, one of the deaths is one head that gets dismembered, and then there's a guy who falls on a logging chainsaw, and
the little chainsaw versus the big chainsaw.
That was a great scene.
Yeah,
dude, that brings me to one of my big points. Like, dude, pacing in this movie for scenes is amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. It was. I mean, some of the scenes were pretty fucking nuts. Like when he fights off the girl, I think it's a woman.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and there's this demon character guy sitting there snorting like just piles of coke.
Yeah.
Like you can, like when he goes down to snort it like blows up in his face.
Yes.
His face is just covered in cocaine.
Yeah.
He's got like a leather mask on.
Yeah.
He's watching porn and he has like a knife dick contraption.
Yes.
And like just I laughed gleefully.
Yeah.
I just thought it was fucking great.
It's Grindhouse, but done artful. It's like art Grindhouse.
Yes.
It's like a new genre.
Oh, it was great. Man. I one of my favorites of the year. One of them.
I'd say it's I don't know. It was so weird that it's one of those movies that is taking me a while to process as to how much I like it.
It's certainly going to be like a cult hit.
It's one of those movies where I could probably never see it again and be fine, but knowing that it's a really good movie.
Oh, I can't wait to watch
like 12 Years a Slave, I'll probably never want to watch again, but that's a great movie. You know,
yeah, but this movie's fun.
It is kind of fun in a weird way. It's kind of fun. It's also like the beginning when Mandy gets killed. It's so horrific.
Yeah,
you know?
but you're just like, okay, this is gonna turn Nicolas Cage into Nicolas Cage. You know, this is gonna be fun. See, I didn't know anything about Mandy, so I'm not like horribly attached to the character.
No,
at that point.
They have this shot where you're just watching Nick Cage just scream as she's burning in front of him.
Well, that was an interesting choice. He was gagged.
Yes.
So like you couldn't get like the Nicolas Cage like Wicker Man scene.
Not the bees.
Yeah.
Not the bees.
But he shines. This is just perfect for him.
Yes, it is, because it allows him. he gets some great shit in there because he gets some like real acting in, but he also gets to do his insane shit too.
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked the conversations with Mandy and Nick Cage early on in the movie.
Yeah, sure.
Like what's your favorite planet? What was it, Jupiter, because of the hurricanes, like the 1,000-year storm that's going on, and like the eye of the storm is fucking huge,
as big as the Earth.
Yeah, or something like that. And I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. It's weird ways of telling you about the characters.
It's got a very like cosmic psychedelic feel to the whole movie. Like I'm going to be interested with this one after I've seen it a few times, because I'm the opposite on this. Like, I wanted to start it over right when it was over, because it's one of those where it's like, okay, there's gotta be hidden themes in here.
Right.
There's gotta be meanings to all this shit.
Well, so, like, she's doing that story about her dad killing the starlings, the little birds.
Yeah.
And I thought she did a great job with that scene, just the acting there. Oh, and but I was like, there's gotta be something to this scene. This story has to mean something. I was like, well, I think it's like maybe the people that we think are good are not that good, because that ties in with the rest of the people. Like her dad doing the thing that's practical, killing the starlings so they don't eat all the cherries or whatever the fuck.
But he's got like a sick, sadistic way of doing it.
And then the idea of like him using a crowbar to hammer down one into the ground so that it's like it's in its own coffin.
Yes.
Like, that's insane. Like, that's insane imagery in and of
way
itself.
More and they don't show you that.
No.
She's just telling you about it, but you can see it in your head.
It's one of those slow zooms as she's telling the story. Do you notice, too, there were a lot of times where, like there's one time where he sees her and she's in the water and she's coming out and she's, like, naked or whatever, and one of her eyes is, like, really big. And then they did that again in the vision that Jeremiah had of her. I was like, God, that's gotta fucking mean something.
He's like tripping. So the eyes being big, a lot of that I noticed when they like hit her with the. A lot of that is the pupil dilation from tripping balls.
But
you're right. At the beginning of the movie, it happened with her.
And she also had one eye that was just like had a bigger iris than the other. Like. It just, watch it again.
She's half tripping balls.
Yeah, well, I was like, are you tripping? Are you half snake lady? Like, I don't know because I feel like there's like gotta be biblical or like, I just
there's
feel
clearly
like
a biblical aspect of this.
Yeah, I just feel like this is oozing with like metaphor. Like everything probably has a meaning. Actually, and that's probably a genius thing about these movies is you could just do something that has no meaning and people will search for it.
Right.
Like that scene where like they're fading faces in and out, becoming one.
It was insane.
I'm like, what is the meaning? And it could be nothing.
It's just a creative way of like having a psychedelic, trippy scene with two characters playing off of each other.
Yeah. God.
Now, also with the bad guy, the scene at the end where he's like, "You fucker, you can't hurt me," blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden he realizes he's fucked. "I'll suck your dick, man."
I know. And that says so much about him as a character.
Oh, yeah.
One, because of like the delusions of grandeur thing, but then the whole like the first place that you go for begging for your life is sucking a dick.
Yep, that's it.
It just shows that you're just a sexual deviant, and that's literally all he is. He's just an insane sexual deviant.
Yeah, that's how he's, demonstrated his power over others for however long. And I thought this was fucking great.
It's really good. It's in the top 10 of the year for me.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of people are going to say that I know the reviews have been good.
Yeah.
It's a great grindhouse throwback that's done with like a ton of style.
Oh, the music.
The music was great. Yeah.
It's all over the place with like it had the 80s synths.
Yes.
To fit with the time, but there were also other things that weren't exactly like there were guitar riffs that were in there too.
There were
that
a lot
kind
of like
different.
Slow, like doom metal feeling kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. That last shot. We have to talk about that. Because he's driving away from the burning chapel.
And he looks over and...
Well, that's not the last shot.
I know, but
that was fucking nuts.
I'm like, wait a minute. Did he just imagine... Like, for a second, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he's got that shit-eating grin.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, is this like showing that he's lost it? He's gone now? Like,
I think he is. I mean,
right. Is he like the new crazy person that took the batch of LSD and now he goes around killing people?
We'll have to wait for Mandy too.
God, that would be amazing. I would love to see a sequel, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But it pans up, and the landscape, there's like multiple moons,
It
or
looks
like planets.
the Endless or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so either we're all tripping balls and this is fake, or this entire thing actually took place on like an alternate planet and we didn't know about it.
I think we're tripping balls.
Okay.
I mean, I do.
I just feel like that would be a little lame if it was.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
I mean, maybe. I just feel like I was like, man, you could really
we're
say
clearly
something.
tripping balls because, like, at the end of the movie, like the layers he's showing up to and shit are all like, as the movie goes, shit gets more like fantastical and fucking crazy. You know, like the pyramid.
Yeah.
Like, and then he drops down into like tunnels.
Yeah.
And he like sees the one woman and cuts her head off and throws her head at the guy. I mean, just a bonkers movie.
It's weird. It's weird. I really wish that ending meant that they were in some sort of weird fantasy world.
Like I said, let's get Mandy too.
What would be really interesting is that the whole thing was an acid trip from day one, and really they're in this weird post-apocalyptic world. But they were pretending, like him and Mandy were pretending that they were in it.
Like, I'm still not clear on what the monster demon, like whether or not they were just like a gang of people that were hanging out and heard the horn and then they come because that's where their base is.
Why are their voices different? Like,
because everybody's tripping balls, man.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
But Nick Cage wasn't tripping balls because he
That's
didn't
true.
do the LSD until after
and he said they were like pure evil, whatever.
And he wasn't.
But when they were described to him, I want to watch it again because I want to see the scene, the normal scene where the black dude's like, here's the deal with these guys, and here's the deal with the cult, and you know, blah blah blah. So,
man, because there's that scene where they first summon them, and then they show up, and they're like, blood for blood, and you're just like, oh man, their voices.
Poor fat guy.
Oh man. Well, they hand him like this jar of like sludge, which I guess is like the LSD or whatever. I think
it is, yeah.
But it's just like, I didn't know what that was at first, so I was like, what is this? Like,
That's not blood.
I was like, what is this? Is this like somebody's bones ground up into a paste? Like,
who knows?
What is, like, crazy movie, awesome and weird. 8.5, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it's
like
a
that.
9. I really I mean, again, it's like a low budget, different experience.
Yeah.
You know, it's different than anything you're going to go see right now.
Right.
If you like crazy, fucked up shit, it's a must see.
Right.
You know, so.
You know what's crazy is that Nick Cage, so we had we're going to wind.
By the way, Nick Cage is underrated. I'm sorry. He used to be in some good fucking roles that played to his strengths,
right? And
he's been pretty good. He, might have spent too much money and ended up in direct-to-video schlocky bullshit, but he's not not talented. He doesn't have, he's not devoid of talent.
Here's the thing. He has no shame, which means he goes places that most people wouldn't, and sometimes that means that he ends up in a place he shouldn't.
Right. But sometimes he makes Raising Arizona or fucking Leaving Las Vegas or Mandy.
Yeah, well, watch Vampires Kiss and tell me he's a great actor.
There was also that one in New Orleans. Oh, God, I forget. Like something Port of Call, New Orleans.
There was also the one he did
Con Air, he was horrible in with his stupid voice.
Put the bunny in the box.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. There was also one more movie that I want to make sure I mention that people should see. There's one that he did with Hayden Christensen, where he plays like they're like in samurai times, and it's really fucking awful. I think you can see it on Netflix still.
Oh, maybe I'll watch that one.
It's really fucking bad, and he's bad in it because like he's got like a cut eye, but they didn't decide to like put makeup on it and make it look like his eye was just healed shut. He's literally just doing this the whole movie, which is like, you know, when somebody
By
has...
the way, Alex just like closed his eye.
Yeah,
they can't see you. This isn't a video podcast.
Right. So I squinted with one eye and closed one eye. And the thing is we all know what it looks like when your eyes are moving because of muscle movement. Well, if you had your eye cut out, your eye wouldn't be doing that. It would just be relaxed.
Right.
But he's doing that the whole movie, just like this. And it becomes really distracting. Also because like he can't keep the gap the same. So it's kind of closed, kind of open.
Sounds like a disaster.
It's a really bad movie. Well, Hayden Christensen. I mean...
Who's worse, him or Hayden Christensen?
I don't...
They're
both. They're both worse.
But hey, I'm telling you, Mr. Cage has an Oscar. He's done some schlock, but I will defend Mr. Cage.
But we talked about Superman at the beginning of this, and we talked about Henry Cavill leaving, and he got asked, Nick Cage got asked about Superman and how to make a good Superman movie. And he said that there are few directors that are working today that can create worlds.
Okay.
And he said this director is one of them, and this director could make a Superman movie. And
the Mandy guy?
Yeah.
Please.
I'm like, maybe?
Dude, fuck it. Superman starring Nicolas Cage, directed by this Italian crazy lunatic who made this movie. I'm there, day one.
If nothing else, it will be an experience.
Exactly. Fuck it.
But yeah, I think that's another episode, wouldn't you say?
That's another episode.
So check us on all of our social media. We got a website, boredannoyed.com. We got Bored Annoyed on Twitter. Check me out at Home at the Movies on YouTube, Home with a B. But yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Check out Mandy.
Yes, right now. Go watch it.